Dun dun dururum, durururururum.
Do you come from a land down under? Do up up do. Where women glow and men plunder. Do up up oh. Can you hear the thunder? Do up up do. You better run, you better take cover. Do up yeah. Do up up.
Cool, I think we'll go with that one.
Do up
That's
up.
good.
Was that actually good?
Yeah, it was good.
Do up up. Do up up oh.
Okay, welcome to the Aussie Corner this week for the Lahti Ski Games. Here with your host, Sevi De Campo from Team Australia. Now, we've got an exciting Aussie Corner this week. Just me, because my teammate Lars is on the plane currently going to Lahti, so he's a little tied up. And the other co-hosts for the Aussie Corner are preparing for their races this weekend. And I'm a little bit sick. I don't know if you can tell, but I've done a Jimmy and I've gone the podcast anyway. You'll have to listen to my croaky voice, but we can't let these predictions go to waste. So we've done some extra research, had a bit of extra time on my hands this week. So we've got the Lahti Ski Games this week with the skate sprint and a 10K classic. Now, if you know anything about Lahti, you've got the fans, you've got the passion, you've got the noise, you've got the history of the Lahti arena. So it's all going to be happening on the World Cup this weekend. We're going to start with the skate sprint. Now, I've done my Finnish research. We've got some names that I want to highlight this week. A few Finnish athletes that will be skiing fast. Now, for the men, there's a boy called Nico Bennett. Now, he's kind of from your sort of good ski upbringing in the Helsinki areas. I've been in Norway for a little bit, living with Thomas Maloney, so getting the sprint training in with Thomas there. He's doing the sprint. I'm going to tip him for a top 30. Nico Bennett. In the women's, we've got Jasmine Kahara. Now, she was 13th in Falun last weekend. I'm tipping her into the semi-finals. Lahti on the home soil is where breakthroughs can happen. Jasmine Kahara. Now, Queen of Finnish skiing, Queen of Finnish sprinting this season, Yasmi Yonsu. She showed that she had medal potential in Val di Fiemme. She didn't quite live up to hype at the Olympics themselves. Tough course. I'm thinking the fast skate style sprint in Lahti is going to suit Jasmi Yonsu. So she's got the speed. She's got the home crowd this time. I'm tipping her for the win. Big statement, but I'm tipping Jasmi Yonsu for the win. And she started for a second. And Sunling, I don't know what's wrong with her. She wasn't in Falun, so we've got Lynn Swan to hold the Swedish flag for this week. But I'm going to back in the home girl, Yasmi Yonsu. And for an outside roughie, we've got Hila Niemela. I don't know if I said that correctly. Hila Niemela. Yeah, don't know if I said that correctly. Let me know in the comments how to pronounce Hila's name. She's young. She's hungry. She's knocking on the door for the top 30. I'm going to say she's making heats this weekend. In the other names, I've got Jaume Pueyo from Spain, Espanyol. He is going to be in the final. He's really good in Lahti. I don't know what it is. I think he's sort of that free skate into the downhill, into the stadium suits him well. He's a little bit of a heavier boy. He's packing a little bit of extra kgs in the pec area. I've seen him bench press. Okay, it's something special. He's done the high rocks in off season, so he's packing a little bit of extra size for that downhill into the finish. Now, I've got Valerio Grande as well in the men to make the final. Don't know if he's fresh, if he's in form enough for a podium, but Valerio Grande, he's had a few days at home enjoying the sun down there in Davos, or just up the valley actually from Davos. And so him and his Swiss partner Yannick Ribli, they're looking really good. So in the final there, should have mentioned as well Nico Bennett, the Finnish skier. He made the top 5 at German Nationals 2 weeks ago. So that was just some extra background research that I'd done to confirm that Nico is in fine form and looking to crack the top 30 for the sprint to round out the men's sprint. We'll move on to Sunday for the 10K Classic. Now we know how much Lahti suits the classic traditionalists. You need some good classic technique. Now, one name that is on the tip of everyone's tongue is Saveli Korostelev, the independent athlete. He's been racing in Lillehammer at the U23s this week. He got pipped on the line in the sprint there, skate sprint, sort of, by his old nemesis, and the boys his own age. I'm sure he could have dropped them easily if the course was a little bit tougher. But the course is tough in Lahti. Everyone's been saying he'll get his first podium this season. I don't think it'll be in Lahti. I think it'll be a little bit tired from racing this week in Lillehammer. And I'm not sure what his program is, if he's going to do the 10K individual here in Lillehammer on the Saturday and then beeline it to Lahti. It is possible you just take the train down to Oslo Airport, Helsinki. Pretty easy. But will that extra travel be enough to just put a bit of fatigue in the legs? Theo Shelley, the French boy, done really well in classic long distance events. Obviously at the Olympics, he was fourth in a stunning display of classic technique. So he's got the technique, but does he have that shortness, and does he have the individual pacing for a 10K individual? One to watch. I'm going to put him in for a third spot. I'm going to put him in for the third place. And there's also the hometown boy, Ivo Niskanen. Evo. That's what they're going to be saying out there. He's going to be feeding off that. He's going to be feeding off the local Finnish cheer squad. Just seeing him in the 50K there in Milano Cortina DNF, because it was all a little bit too much. We'd love to see Evo win or hit a podium, but I think maybe fifth is the best he can deliver today, this weekend. The women's, obviously you got your Swedish superstars, your Frida Karlssons, your Ebba Andersons, your Lynn Swans. Actually, Ebba Anderson, I think, is not racing. She's going to do some ski classics this weekend, if I am correct. But I'm thinking the Lynn Swan's classic technique is just spectacular. I'm wondering if these short, punchy hills in Lahti can favour someone with a little bit extra power and a sprinter in good form, as Lynn Swan is, tipping her for a podium. Now, moving on to the, just going to touch on the U23s and the World Juniors as well. It's a busy week of racing in the FIS cross-country world, so nothing to miss out on this week. If you're not watching World Cup, flick across FIS TV, wherever you stream, watch the Under-23 and the World Juniors. Okay, so I'm going to tip, so we've got a 10K individual in the World Juniors tomorrow and the U23s on Sunday doing the 10K individual. In the juniors, I'm tipping 3 random French guys to sweep the podium, and then I'm also tipping all 3 of them to quit skiing by the age of 21. Tipping the Norwegian Leo Strand in the juniors to come 4th tomorrow, but then become the next Klæbo by 23. And we're all wondering, how is Norway's conversion from junior to senior so good? Same story for the girls, except more exotic nations doing well. I'm thinking Andorra, thinking Estonia to podium, Latvia, these Balkans, not as far as Romania, they're a bit off the podium, but one of these more road countries to do really well, and then obviously struggle with the transition from junior to senior. And then been really impressed with Canada's display this week in the junior U23 races. So obviously Alison Mackey to probably back up with a podium in the 10K. But I'm thinking Canada has been so good across the board that they're going to podium in both the junior and U23 mixed relays. And then finally, shout out Team Australia, repping the Nobby underwear today, green and gold. Team Australia to beat GB in the under-23 relay. So it's the Queen's Cup. The KOT, Gabriel Gledhill, is too old, so he will not be there to defend the title. So we're going to see an upset there, Oz in front of GB for the Queen's Cup. And to shout out the juniors, we're missing a junior girl, so if anyone wants to step in next year and race for Australia in the junior girl categories, that would be good so that we can field a relay. Yeah, just because Clancy, Harvey, Sam Johnson, Harry Sylvester, Satara Moon, they're looking for someone to fill in, come and help them out. Still the most attractive team, though, out there. So that's all we've got for this week, and I'll see you all in Oslo and then in Lake Placid for World Cup finals after that. And good luck everyone competing this weekend. And of course, enjoy everyone who's watching from home or from the sidelines, cheering on our skiers this week, wherever that might be, whether it's Balkan Cups, FIS Cups as well, NORAMs, wherever you are in the world, local park run. Just absolutely get after it. That's Aussie Corner for this week. See you next week.
Serious problems.